This is my wash system. I'll start off with 100% black, and then from there I'll move over to 75% black with the other 25% being water. Then we're gonna go over to 50% with the other 50% being water. Then about 20% black and the other 80% being water. And then on rare occasions, I rarely use this, but I always have it up there. It's like a couple of drops in mostly water. Now my favorite ink to use for this is dynamic black since it's so thin, but I've been using the eternal lining black, which has been working pretty good for me too. Now depending on how you saturate is going to determine the effect you get from each wash. For example, here I'm using 75%, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how your saturation level can determine the tone you achieve when you're tattooing. So I'm going to start off here with the lightest tone, and I'm just doing my usual technique. Now as you're watching, you're just seeing me kind of pile on the ink layer by layer, and this will be our lightest tone here. For your guys' reference, I'm on 6.5 volts. And we just finished our lightest tone, so we're moving on over to our second tone over. And you can see I just did a few passes over it. You can see it's pretty light, and this is on 75%. The effect would be a little different on actual skin, but this is just an example to show you guys exactly what I mean by saturation. Now on this go around, I'm passing this a little bit more times than I did the first one, so I can darken it up. And you guys will see that right here as the tone is just about halfway darker than the one prior. Now we're gonna do the darkest one here, and this one's gonna take the most time, obviously, because we're going to have to do more passes with this one to get that darker tone. So you'll see me doing that right now. Also, how much pressure you apply will also determine how long it will take to saturate the area. So here I'm just going to be applying a bit more pressure towards the end to really make sure we're packing that ink in as much as possible. The sound you hear will also let you know how deep you're going. When you start pressing harder, you'll hear the difference in the tone of the buzzing from the machine. And if you listen carefully, you'll hear that change right now. The buzzing's a lot more aggressive sounding when you're pressing harder, and that'll let you know the depth you're applying with the needle on top of seeing what you're doing. So again, this was all the 75% wash, and this is showing just what happens when you use different pressures and different amounts of passes. You can achieve different tones with the same ink as long as you use control of your mag in such manner. Now I want to show you guys more about my technique that I was saying earlier. My raking pattern, you can see here when I say that cross-hatching, it starts with the pattern that's created with your mag when you slowly drag it against the skin. Now, this is a lot slower than how I was doing it before, but I'm just slowing down so you can really see exactly what I'm doing when I'm shading. So we went our first direction here, and as you can see after I wipe it, the patterns are a little bit darker than usual. I'm going a little harder than what I typically would on the skin, but I just want you guys to really be able to see this pattern here. And so you can see I'm going in the other direction, creating the crosshatch pattern that I often talk about. Now, to achieve a smoother effect, you're going to want to continue going in different directions. So now I'm going back over it in the direction I was before, only slightly different to smoothen out that pattern. The more times you go over it, the less you'll be able to see the pattern, and hence that's how you achieve the smooth shading with this technique that I use. Now we're going to do another direction here, and how many directions you want to go is completely up to you guys. It just really varies depending on how smooth you want it to look, your saturation level and the tone you're using, as well as the voltage. So play around with this on practice skin and adjust this technique to your level of comfort. Now, I'm sure you all have other questions, so this will be a series. I'm going to be expanding on these techniques and going into further depth regarding the different variations about what you can do with this. So be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.